This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with our latest movie or show review, and what we are getting into next. We're your host, Cheryl.
And Jay.
All right, this week we watched an Apple TV movie called The Gorge. That's all I'm going to tell you about. I ain't going to tell you nothing else. But Jay is on deck for trivia. What you got?
Okay, so The Gorge stars two people. Miles
Yes.
Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. These two individuals have also played superheroes before in the past, but not in the same properties. So, what were those characters?
Anya Taylor-Joy was in the New Mutants movie.
Yes.
I don't remember her character name, though.
She was Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was her... This is a stupid question. What was her superpower? I don't even remember. That movie was...
Well, the only powers they showed she had the sword in the arm. And
Right.
She had the dragon, and she could cut
Okay.
holes in the dimension or something.
Right. Yeah, she had the freaky little things that kept haunting her.
Yeah, the freaky little faceless guys.
I didn't like... New Mutants was that movie that kept getting like delayed.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, it was like...
Yeah.
Okay. And then Miles Teller. I feel like this is the first time I've seen him in anything.
Okay.
I think.
I don't know what else you would have seen him in.
But he's been a superhero movie.
He was in a superhero movie, yes.
So it obviously ain't a Marvel movie.
Yes.
It's
not in the MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a Hulk.
No.
But not... I don't remember him in none of this. Was he in an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man?
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
They're about to spin the block.
He's in Fantastic Four. Who was he in Fantastic Four?
Miles Teller played Reed Richards.
What?
In
Fantastic
Four with Michael B. Jordan and the girl from House of Cards that got pushed in front of that train.
Didn't see. Oh, he looks different. No, he looks the same.
He looks the same. He's got facial hair.
He's older too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Mm.
I think he got a little more meat on his bones or something. Because he looks different to me.
He just looks older, I guess. Say that's
up.
facial hair because usually Reed Richards they make you shave your face, but you would not have seen him. You would not have seen him in Top Gun Maverick, which he was also in.
Oh, okay. That's what he was. That was like his resurgence or something, then, right?
Yeah, I knew him originally from Divergent, which was the knockoff Hunger Game films. He played one of the side characters in that with Shailene Woodley and Theo James.
Okay.
We just saw last week.
He was in Divergent, huh?
Yeah, he was one of the side characters.
Off, right? Yeah. It was too twin filmy.
Yeah, I think the Hunger Games and the Maze Runner kind of like blew the wind right out of it. Yeah,
because Divergent was based on a book too.
And Shailene Woodley ended up being weird.
Okay. You know what? He looks the same, but he looks really, really young.
In Divergent?
And it's the hair. No, in Fantastic as Reed.
Oh, well, when did Fantastic Four come out? 10 years ago. So,
okay.
Fair.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm looking at him in the movie and then looking at his picture and I'm like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody liked that one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Interesting. Well, good for him that he's like back. He getting his footing back. He's getting his footing back.
Yeah. I mean, he was in Top Gun, so I think he was going to be in the sequel because nobody died in Top Gun.
Oh, right. They are redoing Top Gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Miles.
Yeah. So.
He's probably done with superhero movies.
Probably is, yes.
Yeah.
But Anya Taylor-Joy could come back.
She could, because they doing mutants and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I could have figured it was his brother or something, because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing him as Reed Richards after watching this movie. Yeah. But that's why nobody probably liked that movie. That's okay.
No, the movie was just bad. Well, the acting wasn't terrible.
But he doesn't look like the guy who played Reed Richards the first time. And he doesn't look like Pedro, and he doesn't they don't have the same.
None of the film Reed Richards look alike.
Well, but they don't have the same. He just looks really young, and
they were going very young for that Fantastic Four. They were going for like fresh out of college graduates.
Okay,
like it was given STEM.
Okay, because I'm like he looks so much younger. He looks like a way younger Reed than everybody else.
Yeah, they were going for like but like young adult Fantastic Four. Yeah, not well established. They didn't even have the Baxter Building yet. Yeah, this was first mission Fantastic Four. Yeah,
we'll act like it never happened.
Okay, I mean everybody else does so.
Right,
and now it's irrelevant. So.
Yeah, right, it's fine.
All right, so that was the trivia this week. Let's get into the rest of the episode. Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you What's in the plot? And here if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun dun dun. All right, this episode is packed with news. So we got a bunch of DC news this week. And y'all know how we love to rant about DC news. Couple of trailers in the trailer parks, not full. And then we got a nice little healthy bunch of Buncha Crunch to go with it. So at the top of our news, it was a big old article that came out. I guess DC, James Gunn and Pete, what's his name, must have had a press.
Nobody remembers Peter.
Peter
Safran?
Peter Parker? Okay.
Okay.
James and Pete had some sort of meeting of the minds with journalists or something, and a big old article came out talking about new projects, existing projects, and projects that ain't gonna make it sound like. So let's start off with the new ones. First new one that we got an announcement, which we already talked about because I distinctly remember saying I didn't want it, but now it's been confirmed. There is a Teen Titans movie coming.
Okay.
I don't want it.
I like the Teen Titans, but
I just want Batman Beyond, y'all. If we gonna do teens, give me Batman Beyond.
I mean, the Teen Titans came way before Batman Beyond, and were like around for a very long time. Teen Titans were actually like Teen Titans. I will say they have done something that the Younger Avengers has not been able to do, and that is
pull it together.
Remain relevant and continue on and still be entertaining. Because
there's been like TV show, like they had an animated cartoon, right? Teen Titans. Yeah. And then there was the Titans show. They weren't teens. They were just young adults.
Yeah. And the Titans show was like critically acclaimed.
For a little bit.
It ran for a while. I mean, it petered out towards the end.
Right. But I liked it. Seasons were really good. I liked the first couple seasons.
No. We're talking about two different things. So we watched Titans.
Yes.
That was live action on HBO.
Right.
Titans also had an animated series that ran for several seasons on Adult Swim. That was really good.
I know what you're talking about.
It's the one young adult thing that that's landed.
Right, that they continue to do. So it's going to be live action, so the casting will be interesting. Fine.
It does seem a little bit weird. I guess this universe is fully like if a Teen Titans movie comes first, that means then everything else in the universe is fully established. Then
we're not doing any like what do you want to call origin stories?
Teen Titans are made up of the former sidekicks or successors of predecessors of the already established Justice League members. Like each of them have an already established Justice League counterpart. How are you doing that when
you don't have all your Justice League members established?
I'm unsure, but that might mean that that every character is already like somewhere, at least established and known enough to have had a sidekick that has branched out on his own and decided to join a team of other sidekicks.
Yeah,
and is this live action?
Yeah, it's live action.
Yeah, so
I mean, sure, I'll probably watch it, but I am still pro Batman Beyond.
I mean, we're never gonna get that.
We're not. But
it's never gonna happen.
You never know. I like to speak things into existence, and maybe if I keep speaking it, it'll come true.
Yeah.
But probably not.
So I'm looking forward to the only important castings to me are Corey and Donna. So Corey and Donna castings.
What about Dick Grayson?
And Dick, yeah, third.
Okay.
Corey, Donna, Dick. In that order.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is
fine. Okay. Yeah. So in addition to a Teen Titans live action movie, we are also going to get some animated shows. We have one for the My Adventures of Green Lantern, which is set in the same universe as the My Adventures of Superman, which Jack Quaid voiced, but I didn't watch, but I think people really liked.
Yes.
So I guess this makes sense. The Green Lantern will be Jessica Cruz, who I'm not familiar with.
Just another lantern.
No, okay. Yeah. And then we have a Starfire show coming out.
Okay.
I hope she
animated.
Yes, this is also animated, so we not getting her back. I know you're thinking, Anna Diop. She can't.
No,
she can voice her though. Maybe.
She could.
Maybe. Yeah. I actually want her to be Storm. So James, leave her alone.
Yeah,
leave her alone.
I want Anna Diop in X-Men.
Do not call her, please. Leave her be so Kevin.
But I think they're gonna go in like a different direction with this Starfire.
She's probably gonna be like comic book accurate where she's like orange or something?
Yeah, because everybody on her planet's like orange except for like her sister. So and that's fine. People were really confused about, and also with the Teen Titans movie, people were debating like, oh, because Anna Diop played her in the Titans and she was clearly black. Yeah. And everybody was like, well, what are they gonna race bend the character, or what race are they gonna make her? And I was like, I think people have forgotten how well Zoe Saldana did Gamora. They can clearly pull off like orange skin colored characters,
right?
Or any of the side
black
characters.
In real life.
Yeah, any of the side characters in Guardians of the Galaxy that were of multiple ranges of colors.
You know that they don't want us at nothing, so like, no, you can't do it. You can't do it.
I mean, it does. She can just be orange. I don't even think it should be a point of contention. Like when they cast Zoe Saldana, nobody was like, so are they gonna paint her green? I mean, she just got painted green. It wasn't a big deal,
right? But I do want James Gunn to leave her alone so Kevin Feige can call.
Yeah, no, leave Anna alone. Like anybody outside
she's
that.
Busy. She don't know it yet.
Well, she's a little older now. Because Amanda Seyfried was gonna be Gamora, and she always regrets it. But she's too old to do Teen Titans now.
Right, and she's about to do Children of Blood and Bone, so she's about to be busy. Mm-hmm. Anyway. And then we're also getting an animated show called DC Superpowers, which I think is like a team-up show of like different different comic book characters. But this will also be animated. Okay. So I'm
gonna skip all these.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I'm checking any of these out, but it sounds fun. They don't also say if they're like kid or I don't know if they're
in the
adult.
Middle. My Adventures with Superman is like in the middle.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't skew
so it's
too
not
adult.
Like Invincible.
No.
Okay. So Creature Commandos, I guess, would have been a better example.
Not even like Creature Commandos either.
So like
Creature Commandos is more adult. It's more like towards the Invincible end of the spectrum.
Okay.
You're thinking My Adventures with Green Lantern would be along the lines of the Titans animated show.
That was alright. Okay. Okay. Got you. So no Batman Beyond for me, but congratulations, y'all. Y'all got some good stuff coming, I guess. So existing projects. Speaking of Dick Grayson, dynamic duo, which will have Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, may not be set in the DCU. Now remember, DC is split into two. We got Elseworlds and we got DCU, which is like main canon. And I guess they don't know where to put this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm confused because if y'all got a Teen Titans movie, then how you gonna have dynamic duo and they're not gonna be in the same universe?
But that also, I'm confused. Because we can just skip to the third bullet then, because that's also very confusing with that, because you have various Batman sidekicks.
Yes.
Bat family members.
Yes.
None of them are in the same universe.
Apparently they don't know yet.
The dynamic duo, that's because you got to have a live action Brave and the Bold coming. That's supposed to be about Bruce Wayne and his son Damian.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's Robin 3. Well,
that's 3 Robins, right?
No, that's Robin 4.
Oh.
Damian's Robin 4.
Robin is Robin 1, right?
Right. Dick is Robin 1.
Right.
Jason is Robin 2. Tim is Robin 3.
Okay.
Tim's not on the board yet. Maybe Tim will be the Robin for Teen Titans movie.
Oh, okay.
Because both Tim, Dick, and Damian have been on the Teen Titans as the acting Robin. Right. So maybe Tim will be on the Teen Titans movie team.
Okay. I'm convinced.
I put Starfire in a weird place, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's not about her.
Ain't our problem. But yeah, like you said, so speaking of Dick Grayson and Batman sidekicks, Brave and the Bold, Andy is still attached to direct. Mm-hmm. They're working on the script, and they said that he will get a first look at the script when it's done. And like, so he ain't got no say so, and like what the movie gonna be about. He just gonna have, they be like direct. That's it. No comment, no notes. Which I mean, I don't know.
After the way the Flash was handled, I can see that.
Well,
yeah.
Everybody wants Andy not to direct this, and I'm indifferent. I don't care.
I'm indifferent to a Batman Brave and the Bold movie.
Well, they have to have Batman somewhere.
I know, but
you just don't.
I'm just not excited for this Batman yet because they haven't released enough details, so there's nothing to be excited about.
It ain't written yet. They don't know.
Yeah,
they're like, we don't know either.
My focus is on the Batman Part 2.
Speaking of the Batman Part 2,
that's my Batman.
They confirmed that. Well, yes, they confirmed that. So Robert Pattinson is not. They have said it a couple of times, and then it felt like maybe we were kind of bending and wavering. But Robert Pattinson will not be the DCU Batman.
I'm good with that.
I'm totally fine.
I'm good with that.
People said they felt bad for Robert Pattinson because he won't be part of the larger universe. I'm like, does he want to?
Robert keep a job, Pattinson? I don't feel bad for Robert.
I think he's all right. They're like, oh, he won't get to be part of the large universe, and I'm like, he just called Christopher Nolan up and be like, hey, what you got?
Robert Pattinson is familiar with big franchise work with Twilight. I'm sure he's fine.
I've been there, done that. Yeah. You people are crazy.
I'm sure he's
no, thank you.
I don't think he'll miss out working with an ensemble cast for a while.
He's literally on the Nolan list.
He's got the Bong Joon-ho movie coming out too. He's on the Nolan list.
It's good.
Is he in the Odyssey?
Yes.
He is?
I think so.
If it's not announced, he probably will show up.
I think he is. I'm losing track, and we talked about this, but I'm pretty sure he is in the Odyssey.
Okay.
So no need to feel bad for Robert.
Yeah, and once you work for Chris, you work forever.
Right.
As long as you're good, so.
Right.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing about Batman 2 is that Matt Reeves has still not turned in the script.
That's fine. Don't rush greatness.
Listen, they supposed to start shooting. Well, I guess he got to the end of the year to finish it up. There's all been this whole back and forth of like, if the script is done, if the script is not done.
It's probably been delayed because they've been taking so long to figure out whether or not he's going to be. They've been tipping back and forth between whether or not he's going to be in the universe. Is he not? We're still discussing. We don't know. That probably held up script.
Just write it.
So.
What does it matter? What does it matter if he in it or not? They gonna add story elements.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Rewrites.
Nope. James Gunn said none of these movies are connecting. So what does it matter?
Now.
Okay.
He said that now.
Okay. Speaking of issues with scripts not being turned in, there are also some projects that got announced that we ain't about to see no time soon. Of course, one of them is starring a black woman. Waller, they have not done any scripts for, so don't be wasting Viola Davis' time. Let it go. Let's move on.
Yep.
Booster Gold, the showrunner, they had a showrunner, but the showrunner said, no, thank you. I'm not interested anymore, so Booster Gold. I don't know why we were doing Booster Gold anyway.
Booster Gold is the best friend and often collaborator with Blue Beetle. They put Blue Beetle on the board. James Gunn went through the trouble of promising everybody that Jolo Mariduena would come back. So there
was a snip about Blue Beetle's animated spinoff or something.
That's supposed to be connected to the film. That's also voiced by Zolo Mariduena.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they were just kind of like, yeah, it's coming. And then The Authority, they said that the script is having a harder time coming along, so they putting that on the back burner. Now I thought that the chick that's going to be a Superman was setting up The Authority.
I remember when the first draft for Superman was supposed to be Superman versus The Authority.
That's what they said.
And now they changed it to
Superman versus everybody.
A random hodgepodge of characters.
So this, I don't.
It's very interesting that The Authority was the first thing James Gunn said he was going to do when he took over.
This was the whole thing of the Gods and Monsters presentation we had in The Authority. This was
the very, 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 very first project he talked about doing. When he first took over the DCU, before it was even called the DCU, before he even announced, back when he was faking that he wasn't going to write the Superman, he wasn't going to write and direct Superman, and everybody knew, like, James, the only reason you're not announcing is because you're going to do it yourself, and then he did it.
Right.
But it's very interesting that this somehow didn't make it.
Probably because I think he probably writing something else.
But he was super excited about this, and you know how James Gunn is about characters nobody knows about or cares about. So I'm surprised that even he didn't drag this to the forefront, because he loves doing that.
Now, explain The Authority to me again. It's like it's a team up situation, right?
Yeah, I mean they're like the less gritty Watchmen, but more complex, better written characters.
Okay. You know what? Probably because they're trying to do Justice League.
Yeah, they're like...
we're not about to do both of these.
I don't want to call them like the Thunderbolts. They're not like the Thunderbolts like the Thunderbolts to Avengers, the Authority, Justice League. They're not like that per se, but they're their own set of heroes who are fine with crossing lines to get the job done.
So they're like the Suicide Squad?
No, the Suicide Squad are criminals. The Authority are at least heroes.
Okay.
For the most part.
Well, we ain't getting it regardless.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that this was his baby. I feel like this would got him on board to be the Kevin Feige over there.
I wonder if WB was like, it's too many unknowns. You're going to have to take some of this out and give us some more streamlined, well-known people, which is why we getting 4 Robins and 5 Batmans.
We can't get one Wonder Woman game.
we can't get a Wonder Woman Jack. Nothing. They didn't mention nothing about, or maybe they did, but they didn't mention a lot about the Promised Land, wrong movie. Paradise Lost. That's supposed to be the prequel to Wonder Woman. Ain't got much about that. So, and I don't even include Wonder Woman.
So, yeah, no news on Paradise Lost. Some people were taking that as there's no news. It didn't get mentioned, so that means there's no problems with it. I don't think that's what that means.
No, I think they couldn't tell all their problems.
They listed the good ones and they listed the bad ones, and Paradise Lost wasn't on either list. So I feel like
it's feeling back burner.
And it doesn't need to be.
It's feeling back.
It was starting to sound like, what was the Dune show? Dune Prophecy?
That actually got renewed.
It was starting to sound like the Dune Prophecy of Themyscira, and I'm glad it is getting renewed, but we don't need that. No.
I'm actually surprised Dune Prophecy got renewed because it didn't seem like many people watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't,
but you know,
sometimes they renew shows to get people excited for the second season. It convinces people that the show must have been good because it got renewed.
Oh, don't they do that with the show that's actually good and should be renewed? Anywho,
it's a gamble.
Not gonna get on that. All right, last bullet point we have for DC News is that they gave us a little insight to their release plan. So, DC Studios says they're gonna give us per year 2 live action films, 1 animated film, 2 live action TV series, 2 animated TV series, and they are also working on a 6-year plan to give us something that will lead up to now they didn't use this term. The Hollywood Reporter, I think, used this term. Avengers Endgame style movie. Sounding a lot like Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, let me take that back. Because now Marvel's saying, y'all ain't getting jack but 2 movies in a show and a half. And y'all better be quiet because y'all said that we was putting out too much.
The first things I saw when they put this plan out was the reactions from people saying it was too much. Too much content.
Too much.
Yeah.
No. It's funny because I didn't feel like I saw that enough because everybody was getting on Marvel like, you're putting out too much. You're putting out too much. You're putting out too much. Marvel was like, fine, we won't put out nothing. Now everybody's like, ooh, DC, so much. I'm so excited. Be like, but we was just beating Kevin Feige over the head saying they was putting out too much.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Yeah, y'all so fickle.
It's a circle of life. Yeah,
so
it is. It's a fickle cycle.
But this is a lot. I most certainly not be keeping up with all of this.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I probably skip the animated stuff, even if it's in universe.
I wonder if the animated film will be in theater or if they're gonna put it on.
I think Dynamic Duo is supposed to go to theaters. It's supposed to be there at Spider-Verse.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Spider-Verse animation demo thing that they did.
Well, you're right.
Which I didn't even wonder if it's gonna look like that because you showed us the demo. And then the movie's not coming out for 10 years.
Who knows, child? Who knows? But so if you are a DC fan, you about to be stuffed with projects. So it's not bad. Anything that does good in the comic book space is good for both studios. I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna be catching all of this, but I'll catch the good stuff for sure. And I'm definitely watching the Batman Part 2. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, we also, I guess, got a image of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, Kyle
walking
Chandler, and Aaron Pierre walking down the street looking like regular people.
And people were like, "It's not enough." I'm like, "Yeah, what was y'all expecting?"
They said the show's supposed to be True Detective like, but depict what those heroes are like on the job and off the job. Kyle looks a little down and out. And rough. He
looked like he had thrown a couple back last night.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is supposed to look like. Somebody said though that they thought it was interesting that they picked the Green Lanterns to be the grounded show.
Yes, because it is. They're space cops.
Right, because they're so spacey. Mm-hmm. I was like, I didn't really think about that. So I wonder how much.
Like all the murders, all of their space cops, all the mysteries and murders in the galaxy, and the most important one is on Earth. I find that very strange. But it's supposed to lead into some greater threat for the rest of the DC universe. Maybe this is them planting the seeds of Thanos.
Oh yeah, because
or Darkseid. I'm sorry.
Well, but that's interesting because you're not supposed to have to watch everything to get everything else. That's what he said. He said you would not have to do homework.
We're not doing this. We're not holding James Gunn to his word.
Well, I mean, we should. Because that man be like, you ain't got to do nothing. And then you be like, I had to do everything, actually.
We're not going to actually debate James Gunn's word.
You're right. That would take a whole episode. So we'll see. I'm curious what this lead up of film is going to be. this Avengers in-game style thing if I ain't got to watch nothing to get there. So we'll see.
Okay.
It's going to be Justice League, right?
That's their team, but I don't even know if they're going in that direction.
Oh, right, because I ain't got no Batman yet. Never mind.
We ain't got no Batman, and we're developing Teen Titans.
Maybe it'll be a Teen Titans movie.
Teen Titans did graduate to Justice League level characters, but I don't think the greater public would respond well to them skipping the Justice League in his universe.
No. Can we get Wonder Woman? That's all I'm asking for.
No.
Okay, fine.
Cannot.
That is it for our news.
All right, that's it for our news. Let's roll into the trailer pot. First trailer we got is for Andor Season 2. This is the Season 2 of the Season 1 of Andor. It is going to be on Disney Plus and premieres on April 22nd. It is going to pick up where Andor Season 1 left off. That's all I have.
And this is it. It's not, this is just done. They're not doing no more Andor.
Yeah.
I will say, didn't watch Season 1, but I heard about how good it was.
I think many people watch Season 1, which is why they're cutting it.
And it's very expensive apparently to make. Yes. This is like one of the most expensive Disney Plus shows. That's
Gareth Edwards' fault. He laid the groundwork for Rogue One, and they tried to copy that cinematography all the way through the series.
If you make 8 Rogue Ones in a season, then I mean that's gonna get pretty pricey.
Yeah.
But I will say this trailer does make me want to watch Season 1.
So it looks like it's going out with a bang.
It does look pretty. It's got some really good people in it in the cast. But yeah, the first season kind of passed me by. But everybody a couple YouTubers that I follow said it was really good. So I was like, I might check it out. I think I might binge this first season to watch the second season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Rogue One?
No.
Oh.
I know how it ends though.
Oh. Okay.
So I get that was one of. I was like, do I want to watch this?
It's in a stark contrast and tone to the trailer. Looks in a different tone than Rogue One. So it's like this looks. I mean, it still looks horrible because the world of the galaxy far, far away and through the lens of Andor is trash.
Right.
But yeah.
But I get the.
It makes Rogue One seem a little sadder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because you know what the adventures were to lead up to that. Mm-hmm. So I think I might check it out.
Okay.
Give me something to be. I mean, there's 50 other things that I need to watch.
Yeah.
But I'm adding this to the list.
Okay. All right. Next stop on the trailer park is The Assessment. This comes out March 21st to theaters.
Mm-hmm. It feels like it's tomorrow. They promote
it. It is starring Elizabeth Olsen, Hamish Patel, and Alicia Vikander.
This looks creepy.
It doesn't look creepy.
You don't think it looks creepy?
It just looks like a thriller.
Let's explain what it is. It's a sci-fi thriller set in an alternate world where where couples are tested to be parents. Mm-hmm. So Alicia Vikander.
It's giving
Gattaca. Looks like she comes to Elizabeth Olsen and Hamish, and they're the couple, and she's acting like a child to test them to see if they're gonna be good parents.
Yeah.
But she doing the most.
Yeah. So
and she being a little creepy about it. And she being a little weird towards her husband.
Yeah, so it's Lara Croft versus Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and I think Lara Croft might win.
Yeah.
It's the depowered Scarlet Witch at that.
Yeah, so essentially, Alicia Vikander is I guess she's testing their patients, what it seems like.
She's testing a lot.
But it seems to be that she's portraying a child.
Yes.
She's acting like she's a child to test to see how they will perform as parents to a toddler. She's pretending to be a toddler.
Yeah, not just a child, y'all. Like a full-blown toddler. Tantrums.
Yes, like
spitting,
a full-blown toddler, and she's a grown woman.
Throwing food, and she's a grown woman.
And they're playing it straight, like they're actively participating in this test because they are in an alternate universe where it would make sense to do this wildness.
It looks like Oblivion. The universe, whatever. It looks very barren and cold.
It looks very barren. Mm-hmm.
I was like
Gattaca.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is giving futuristic crap.
Yeah. Very, very stale, very
dystopian.
Clean. Not a lot of personality.
No.
Yeah.
Movies like this almost kind of frustrate me because you're like, just quit. But they obviously want to be parents, so they going to put themselves through this craziness. I was like, I don't know if this might raise my blood pressure, but I love Elizabeth Olsen, so I might give it a try.
It seems like at some point the Alicia Vikander's character is getting close to Hamish Patel, the husband.
Of course she is.
It reminds me of like Orphan. There's a lot of movies where I have a real problem with films where you have to watch the whole film where they treat the woman like she's crazy. or or it's in her head, or it's because it's only effect. They did that with The Front Room with Brandy, and that's part of the reason why I was not interested in seeing that. I don't feel like watching a movie of naysayers.
I get it.
Naysaying a woman for an hour and a half.
Especially somebody who's trying to be a mom or is a mom.
It's very frustrating as a viewer.
Right. I just get frustrated because like she's obviously like role playing, and just tell her to stop and kick her out. So I don't know. Yeah. But we'll see. This might be on my watch list. It depends.
Yeah, it looks I think it hit the TIFF Film Festival circuit.
Yes, I think so.
So and it was well received there. This has been out for a while. This is one of those things like that Together movie that have been out forever.
And now it's getting put in the theaters.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Shout out to Lizzie. Make sure you free your calendar for when Kevin called, please. Thank you.
She's back.
Is she?
Yeah.
You know that you talking about the comic book that came out?
Yeah, that's canon.
Well, he came back and said that he had to clarify it. I think Kevin called him up and said, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, actually."
So he didn't clear that before?
No, he read today. Just so if y'all curious what we're talking about, because obviously we're having.
Oh, so this happened today.
This happened today. So there was a comic book. What do you call it? Page or something that came out. It was a
comic book tie-in. It was TVA comic. It was a TVA number 2
that shows Scarlet Witch. Last we saw her, like we saw her in Doctor Strange with the dark fingers in like a TVA glass unit tube or something, right? And somebody asked him, "Oh, is this like our Elizabeth? Is this our Scarlet Witch from MCU?" He said yes. Today he came back and posted and clarified. I didn't even read the whole comment. I was like, "Girl, you don't know what you're talking about." He was like, I made a mistake. I need to clarify. This is not Elizabeth Olsen MCU. I'm like, okay, I'm scrolling.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Well.
Kevin called and was like,
the rest of those sales,
sir,
for that comic.
What are you doing? Can you not? Did you also, this is slightly going on a tangent, but did you read that Charlie Cox was talking about how him and Andrew Garfield almost spoiled Spider-Man because they wanted to go out to eat?
No.
So they were both obviously in this last Spider-Man movie. They thought it was
Were they both in the last Spider-Man movie?
Yeah. Daredevil was in Spider-Man.
Remember for just a second.
For like 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. But I guess they were both didn't know that they were. I don't know how it went.
Oh, they both didn't know that they were going to be in the movie,
right? But then,
how does that work? Because they're friends.
He called up Andrew like, I'm in town filming a movie, and Andrew's like, I'm in town filming a movie. And they were like, well, what movie? And it's like Spider-Man. Oh, snap! Well, you want to get something to eat? Then they said they got to the place and was like, crap, this is probably not a good look. So they sat at whatever diner they was at, facing the wall, and trying not to talk to each other, so the press wouldn't be like, y'all in here together.
That's funny. Because that happens. Kristen Ritter just posted she was on her way to NYC, and they were talking about she might pop up in Daredevil Born Again.
Clocking it,
but she's like on a book tour,
right? Because they said that Daredevil season 2 was starting to film.
So I absolutely would have told my friend I was in Spider-Man. Even if I don't care what the idea is, I would have spilled the beans to my personal
Andrew
people.
did a very good job lying, but I'm pretty sure that if somebody spotted them together, they would have been like, "Oh, y'all in Spider-Man." Y'all in Spider-Man. I don't know. Y'all in Spider-Man.
Because you don't see Charlie Cox in anything else.
Kevin need to write in a clause, you do not get to eat with your friends until the movie's out.
That's funny. They also tried to get Chris Pratt caught up recently on the red carpet.
They trying to get all of them.
And you see his publicist literally moved him.
Yes.
She's like, no, she literally pushed him along.
She pushed that man. They asked him about Doomsday.
She was like, I need you to keep your job so I can keep my job.
Literally moved that man out the way, like, cut it, we're done. And I was like,
he did come back later and say that the credits did say, he's like, oh, the credits did say Star-Lord will return. And then he was like, I feel like there's a Marvel sniper watching me.
Every time. It's just like when Catherine Hahn said something about, oh yeah, I'm so excited to get back to Agatha. If they allow it. It was like, girl, you are. She was like, I feel like the snipers are right behind. Like, yes, they are.
They are.
Yeah, y'all gonna need to get the actors that don't like to talk to press. That's what y'all need to do.
All right.
It was a very boring trailer park.
Let's dive into this Buncha Crunch.
All right. First up is a movie we didn't watch that's getting a sequel, which is Beekeeper 2. Y'all must have loved that movie. It actually did pretty good at the box office.
Is it gonna be about the same thing? Crypto scam or not crypto scam?
He gotta find another old lady.
Money scams
to go work for.
No, please, no more old lady suicides.
Old man to work for. And he get caught up in a phishing scam, and then you got to go kill them people.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. Jason Statham has found his lane, and I ain't never going to hate him for it. But
no more of our black legends blowing their braids out.
No. Yeah, get somebody else. Don't be calling Felicia Rashad. like
that's so unwarranted.
She must have been around the corner somewhere, like in a lot filming.
I like seeing that.
Yeah.
There's some actors that are too legendary for that type of thing.
Like we don't play around like that. Okay.
But that's good. I mean, it was cheap. It made a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think
it
beat projections. People did not expect it to make as much money as it did. So as long as they pick a good weekend.
He got this, and he got Working Man coming out.
He's got Inside Man too.
He's got what?
That's what Working Man is. Inside Man too.
No, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire too.
Yeah, and 5 other movies we named.
Yes.
All right, next up, speaking of Marvel news, The Punisher is going to be getting an MCU special presentation. So like the Werewolf by Night was like a standalone one night situation, and it wasn't a series or anything. They're giving the Punisher one, which I thought was interesting. Sense. It does make sense. Okay. A Punisher is not supposed to be a character you want to stick with for too long. Oh, he's awful. Like he's a killer. He's a murderer. Gotcha. So yeah, like John Wick?
He's less fun.
Yeah.
John Wick is fun.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
Punisher's just mean.
People seem excited about this,
but he's a good character, and I think a special presentation is the perfect format for that. You don't want to have too much Frank Castle.
Gotcha. Yes. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Marvel could do, if you know what, they should do more. Maybe not. People would complain either way. I was gonna say, I wonder if they should do more like special presentations versus doing like whole series. But I don't know.
For
certain characters,
they can. Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they doing in the meantime? Type of situation, and it ain't really got to tie to another. They ain't got to lead up. It's just a fun little.
Or they can just do it as an introduction. You want to introduce a character in the MCU, give them a special presentation that's like 45 minutes long.
Okay, I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. But Werewolf by Night was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and it was like 45 minutes. It was less than an hour.
Was it less than an hour?
I think it was less. It wasn't a full length film.
Okay, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So looking forward to that. We don't have any release date or anything. They just said it's coming, y'all. Be prepared.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, go ahead.
Ayo Edebiri is in talks to star and write in A24's live action Barney movie. This is old news. Well, the fact that she joined is old news. They've been talking about making this Barney movie for a long time.
Well, the fact that she's joining is new, but the fact that the movie is, I don't know why we keep pushing for this. Because Daniel Kaluuya is producing it.
Yeah.
And you're right. He has been trying to produce this for quite some time.
Yeah. It's probably like a Midsummer Get Out spin on Barney.
But why does it take so long?
I mean, how do you approach that?
Why do you need to approach it? Is the question.
Why is one, but if you're deciding to, I'm sure it's hard.
But yeah, it's probably like some sort of psychological horror movie or something.
It's probably horror related.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I need to see a trailer, as you like to say.
I need to see a trailer. Yes, I need detail. I need plot details. They haven't actually let out plot details yet.
Right, like
everybody's guessing because of.
We don't know.
And you can put the pieces together. Barney, A24, Ayo, Daniel Kaluuya. This could
is
be
it probably like
thriller-esque.
Like Barney's tragic life? Like, is it gonna be like Barney? Barney is it gonna be like the guy who plays Barney? I don't know. I feel like it would be about a guy who plays Barney, not like actual Barney.
I'm not interested in that.
Well, you want Barney.
Yeah.
Like Barney's a person.
Yeah, like what was that Winnie the Pooh movie?
Nope.
But with Barney.
Absolutely not.
Blood and Honey.
Ugh. Did they make a sequel to that?
Yeah. It's a universe.
Next
They're doing like Pinocchio or something.
Yeah. I wish I would have kept the rights unlocked. Like, stop letting things be free to use.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97 Season 2 will both be released in 2026.
Good.
Cool.
We've waited long enough for X-Men 97. Give it to us now.
Yeah.
I think both of these will be our 2 shows in 2026. We ain't getting nothing else. This is it. So 2026 will be X-Men and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and we will get Doomsday and Spider-Man. Oh, we getting a double dose of Spider-Man in 2026.
Different Spider-Mans though.
Interesting. They both Peter Parker though.
Yeah, true.
And it sounds like the Miles version is not coming in 2026.
That's fine. They can save Miles for the films.
Well, I'm talking about the Sony movie. Like the Sony, what's the second part of
you mean Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. That's it. Apparently, it wasn't smooth sailing getting that second one out. So
where is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, our Marvel slate will be 2 Spider-Mans, X-Men, and Doomsday. That's not too bad. I'll take it.
No,
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And then we'll have like 12 DC projects.
Wonder Man is getting a show, which we announced a while ago.
Yep.
I forgot that it was coming out.
What?
This year.
forget.
Because they haven't talked about it at all. They've talked about literally everything else except for this. And this is the one thing that doesn't have a full trailer.
Well, it's not coming out till December. So.
Yeah, I know. So I forgot that it was this year. So
Comic-Con's coming. They'll probably talk about it at Comic-Con.
Yeah. So it's the one thing that doesn't have a full trailer. We got that teaser. Or we got, a teaser and a reel, but not like a full trailer for him. But anyway, we now have some details. It's going to be 8 episodes. The strange part is they're going to run from 20 to 40 minutes. I don't like that. Moon Knight had that issue of randomly super short episodes in the middle of a
Agatha had a couple too short as well.
Just make the season shorter.
Or combine episodes. Oh, duh, that's the same thing.
Yeah. Or that. Yeah. Make the season shorter. Don't stretch it. See, and this is something that I said. See, we talked about this with Agatha, where they had 2 hour-long episodes in the beginning, an hour episode at the end. Wait, hour and a half episode at the end, a 45-minute episode before the last episode. It's like, what is the consistency here?
Which is crazy because your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was literally a consistent 31 or 32 minutes. Yeah, the whole season.
So what's going on? I don't understand why they keep doing that.
I don't get it either.
Just make it 6 episodes then.
Make it a special presentation. Yeah. Or make it 2. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna be happy about that. I already know. I'm not gonna like it.
So Brad Winderbaum said that it's a love letter that we do. It's a love letter to what we do as filmmakers. It's a love letter to acting as a profession. It's a sincere, beautiful show. That's fine. They talked about how the show is going to be about Simon, that's Wonder Man's name, as a working actor who has superpowers working in Hollywood. But they haven't really touched too much on the superpower part.
They haven't touched, like what's the plot? Yeah. Like, what's him being a working actor is one thing, but like, that ain't enough detail.
Is he actually going to be a superhero, or is he going to be just making a show?
About being a superhero? It's
also going to star the OG Mandarin. From Iron Man 2 and from Shang-Chi is supposed to be his assistant.
Right, and Ed Harris is his rep.
Yeah.
His agent.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care what the show's about. I'm watching anyway, but I ain't too happy about this 20 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, the runtime issues and the plot, I'm fine with the details that Brad gave so far, as long as it gets super. I don't like removing the super from superhero stuff.
It'll probably still be... We'll see.
I need it to be super.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen. It'll be well acted, but is it going to be super?
It'll probably be a lot like Moon Knight.
Yeah, not Moonlight. Moon Knight would be the preferred choice between the two.
You knew what I meant. You knew what I meant.
Next scoop of crunch is Zendaya is playing Shrek's daughter in Shrek 5. So this is going to be releasing on December 23rd, 2026. I didn't see Shrek 4.
No, I haven't seen Shrek's 3.
So I didn't. 4. I fell off of Shrek and Ice Age before they
got to like So I don't think I've seen 3, honestly. Shrek 3, maybe. It's been so long.
What was the plot of Shrek 3? I don't know. But
exactly.
The last Shrek I saw was funny. I didn't see Shrek 4.
Okay, so you saw 5.
I didn't see Shrek 4, but I also didn't know that there was a Shrek 4.
Wait, no. So you've seen 3?
I've seen 3.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Wait. I knew there was a 3.
Okay.
I did not know there was a 4.
Got you.
So I didn't know that they had a daughter.
They have 3 kids, actually.
Did they have them in 3?
Somebody posted a picture of 3 little Shrek babies. So maybe the other 2, and this was just a clip of like 30 seconds. So maybe the other 2 kids just not in this clip. But they had 3 kids.
Interesting. Oh, you're right. Because didn't they have like a Christmas special or something?
Sure.
They had like a holiday special that was like on TV and they had kids.
They looked like they were triplets.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
So maybe they have 3 daughters.
So Zendaya's going to be playing one of the daughters if there's not more.
I was like, then it wouldn't make sense to have like one like super popular voiced daughter and not all 3.
Maybe they haven't announced it yet.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So this is also, this was accompanied by a teaser for Shrek. Did you watch that?
I did.
Yes. It's fine. It's bringing back Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz.
Got the OGs back.
Antonio Banderas, I do not think will be in this.
They haven't shown any Puss in Boots.
Then they haven't said anything yet. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Puss in Boots shows up. This is the return of Shrek. So
right. Yeah. People were nitpicking about the animation. It does look a little different.
They did the same thing with Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots does not look the same that he looked in the Shrek movies.
Really?
Yeah, people forgot that.
Interesting, because I want to watch Puss in Boots because they said it was good. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Puss in Boots in Shrek looks completely different than Puss in Boots in Puss in Boots because the jump in animation, he got so much better.
Interesting.
So they did the same thing. The only thing I noticed is they look more skin-like.
There's definitely something
Their skin
different.
has more texture.
Okay.
Yeah. On the ogres, because they're not as like neon green. They're more like a natural skin green, which makes no sense.
And they look a little slimmer in the face or something.
They're older.
Yeah. They. I don't think it looks bad.
No.
But they do look different than the Shrek that we have known to love.
I'm fine with that. I like the fact that I took it as they look older in the face. Yeah. Their skin is a little more realistic looking because of animation. They do look older in the face. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Animated characters, that's fine because now they have big children, at least.
Yes, Zendaya is grown. I mean, she's at least a teenager in this.
They have
so she's not playing no toddler.
Yeah,
she's not playing no toddler.
It's fine.
This will probably be a smash.
I was fine with the animation. And it's been so long since Shrek. I'm not about to
nitpick.
Yeah, hold them to.
Right.
Do I want them to?
It don't look like Sonic.
Do
like
I want them to maintain
Sonic.
early 2000s animation in 2025? No.
Yeah, somebody was like, bring back 2D. I'm like, kids ain't watching up 2D.
I didn't complain when Cloud wasn't a stack of polygons.
Right.
The Final Fantasy Rebirth.
No, I want my old graphics back.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that.
Exactly.
Nobody's saying that. So yeah, this will probably make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a Christmas movie. Yeah, for sure.
On other things that will probably make $1 billion, the Hunt for Gollum movie has been delayed a year by December 2027. And I know what you're thinking. Why would this make $1 billion? Well, why did y'all let The Hobbit get to $1 billion? Why did you let every one of those entries get to $1 billion? So why wouldn't this one? Why would the expectation that this doesn't do the exact same thing?
Clocked it.
We are all responsible for letting The Hobbit.
It.
I saw each of those awful films.
Each one of those made $1 billion.
In theaters. I contributed. I was there. So I am yelling at myself. But
you're not wrong.
I saw this news and I was like, just cancel it. But then I thought, why? Because
why would WB cancel us?
Our foolish behinds let the Hobbits get to $1 billion a piece.
And they probably also looking at the Ring of Power numbers. The Ring of Power, at least the first season, was like off the charts viewership wise.
The love for Lord of the Rings is there. I just don't think they're doing very interesting things with it. And now they're talking about doing a reboot of the original trilogy.
No.
The first trilogy is still so good.
No.
Doesn't.
No. Absolutely
The first Lord of the Rings trilogy is like Ben-Hur. Don't redo that.
I will literally watch The Two Towers like I've never seen it every time it come on.
And it still looks good. Even in spots where it's outdated, it looks good.
We were literally watching Return of the King on vacation.
We might again.
Like it's weird. Every time we go on vacation and turn on the TV as we're like passing time in between activities, the Lord of the Rings is always on, and we always sit there and be like, never seen this before. So it's still good. I think they moved it to not compete with Shrek.
Sure, I guess.
I mean, I think them audiences probably overlap just a little bit. Maybe not for kids, but for the adults that they are also wanting to see Shrek. We was definitely watching Shrek and Lord of the Rings at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know about the $1 billion. I mean, you make a good point.
It's not going to make $1 billion because movies, it's very hard for films to do that now.
But you know what?
Especially franchise films.
If it's really good, it
might.
So much
negativity in the world.
Right. But if it's really good, like if it's better than The Hobbit, it could. Maybe.
I don't see a world where it gets even more interesting.
Think of like Moana 2. Moana 2, everybody said was not as good as the first one. But somehow, that movie made $1 billion.
That's because Moana left off on a good note. Moana 1.
Fair
enough. Last Lord of the Rings was that animated flop that nobody went to go see.
Ooh, so that they said they put out just so they wouldn't lose the rights.
They tainted the waters a little bit.
Okay.
And then they threw themselves under the bus, which was stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why they said that. Like, why would you tell us you just put it out just to waste some resources?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You make a very good point.
So.
Maybe not.
Next bullet point. Matthew Lillard has been cast in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
That's who?
I have no idea.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do I need to watch all of Daredevil to watch this new season that's about to come out?
No, you watched The Defenders. That covered his first.
Jessica Jones.
You watched The Defenders. You watched the season of The Defenders where all 4 of them were together. You didn't watch The Defenders?
No. I watched some of Luke Cage, though.
Okay, well, yes.
I'm in trouble.
So it's going to still include all of his lore from Netflix.
Here's the thing. This is coming out in like a week.
Everything that happened in the Netflix universe had already taken place, so it's canon.
If you are listening to this podcast, please drop a link to a recap video so Shrek can catch up, because ain't no way. That's what I did for Ahsoka. I hadn't watched any of the previous Clone Wars stuff, and somebody, I can't remember who, put up I watched all 45 minutes or whatever that recap was. I need something like that for this.
So he's basically met everybody. He's met the Punisher.
Okay.
They've collabed. He's met Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all of them. They've collabed. I don't think he wasn't in any of the live action Spider-Man. So, oh yeah, he was.
Briefly.
So he knows who Spider-Man is.
Right.
And he had his thing with Elektra. So.
Okay. I'm going to watch a recap because I do want to watch this. Everybody's super excited about this, and I love that for y'all. I didn't watch the original, so I'm kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch a recap so I can, but I'm not rewatching all 3 seasons a day. It's not happening. It's not happening. There's no time, and I need to watch Severance and Paradise.
His partners are Carrion and Foggy at the law firm.
Okay.
And
Fisk is now the mayor. I got that part.
Yes, Fisk is the mayor.
I know more probably about Fisk than I do about Daredevil. Yikes.
You did watch Echo.
I did.
Yeah. So you wouldn't know a lot about Fisk.
Sorry.
Yeah. Fisk.
And he wasn't in Hawkeye, so never mind. Was he? No.
Was he in Hawkeye?
Did he show up in Hawkeye?
He might have been in like a post-credit scene or at the end of the series.
I'm gonna try to catch up, and so I can at least enjoy Daredevil and have some sort of because I keep seeing posts of people like you need to know something before you go into this.
You also saw him in Echo for that scene.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, and I like Charlie Cox. So I'm gonna try my best.
He's a good Daredevil.
I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. The next dots, which are sad dots.
Boo.
We lost 2 legends this week. Michelle Tratchtenberg died earlier this week, as well as Gene Hackman.
Sucks. That's my review of that.
Yeah.
Sucks. So I most know Michelle from. Most people know her from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Gossip Girl. Mm-hmm. I know her from Harriet the Spy.
I think most people know her from Harriet the Spy.
I feel like there was a lot of Buffy. I was like, what about Harriet the Spy? So tragic. She was young.
She was 39.
She was. Was it assumed that she was going to be in the Buffy remake potentially?
I don't know. No, okay. I think the only as far as they got was just Sarah Michelle.
Okay. So tragic news when any actor dies, really, but also when they die young. So there was a lot of outpouring of people showing like clips and videos and all of that. So R.I.P. to Michelle.
I know her as Dawn.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Dawn was one of the characters of Buffy.
Right.
You didn't watch Buffy, but
I knew she was though.
The way they introduced, do you know how they introduced Dawn into the show?
No.
I'll tell you very briefly. So the way they introduced Dawn to the show was Buffy had been going on for 5 seasons.
Oh, okay.
And the whole series, Buffy had been an only child. It was just her and her mom.
Okay.
Just her and Joyce. So in a random episode in season 5, at the end of the episode, Buffy's on the way out to the movies with her boyfriend. She tells her mom bye, and her mom says, "Why?" She tells her mom bye, and while she's walking past her bedroom, she sees Dawn in her room. She goes in her room and says, "What are you doing here?" And then her mom goes, "Hey, if you're going out to the movies with your boyfriend, take your little sister." And they both just turn around and go, "Mom," and then the episode ends. So for the rest of the season, for a couple episodes, they continue the show as if Dawn has been there the entire time. They never, kind of like a reverse of the girl from the Winslows going upstairs. That wasn't
a joke? It wasn't like an inside joke?
No, that was part of the show. So
she just showed up?
Yeah, so they kept going. Episode after that, she was just part of the show. Everybody on the cast, and I mean everybody
knew who she was.
Even when they talked about the past,
they
talked about how Dawn was there. And everybody, as a viewer, everybody was confused because the producers, nobody ever acknowledged why they just inserted this girl in here.
Okay.
And they never explained it. They just kind of did it and act like everybody was supposed to watch the show and not question it. Come to find out later on.
Okay.
It's a plot line in the show that this is how they end it a season later.
Okay.
Dawn is basically the Infinity Gauntlet. And the monk, Thanos was running around looking for her. So this group of monks used magic, hid her, disguised her as a human, and embedded her in Buffy's life and in her memories. Because they knew that if Thanos was to find it, the best person to protect her would be Buffy. But they thought that it'd be best if they did that by changing her memories and not letting her know that her sister is the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, very creative.
Yeah, it was very good. That. It was very good. It was the best way they've ever introduced a character randomly in a show.
I know y'all was probably like, "No, where?"
It was super good. Yeah.
Who this girl is after every season or after every episode? Like, okay, now this is the this is the episode. Nope, not this one.
And they kept her around because they changed her memories, so they didn't know a life without her anymore. So she ended up becoming a permanent part of the show.
That's creative.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
they don't make TV like they used to.
They don't,
unless you're watching Paradise. That's good TV.
Yes.
And then another R.I.P. goes out to Gene Hackman, who also passed away this week. Also sucks. Favorite Gene Hackman movie will probably be... He's been in so many. Birdcage.
I would say that's probably my favorite Gene Hackman movie.
Crimson Tide.
My favorite Gene Hackman performance would probably be Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a very good Lex Luthor.
He is the first.
Yes.
Okay. And then also Enemy of the State.
Yes. Enemy of the State as well.
Yes.
Gene Hackman's been around for a very, very, very long time. His first film was in 1961.
Ooh.
He has been around forever. It's very sad that he is gone. His wife and their dog also passed as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, his death is under suspicious circumstances. They haven't really said what's going on, so hopefully it's nothing nefarious. That would also be said.
It's kind of sad. Michelle Tratchtenberg died right when we're having discussions about Buffy coming back.
Right.
Gene Hackman died right around the cusp of getting a new Superman film.
And I'm sure he at least would have been invited.
Yeah.
Of some sort. So, somebody also made a point that he actually hasn't been in a movie in almost like 20 years. And I was like, I would have never known because a lot of his movies like always be on TV.
Yeah, they play his stuff in syndication all the time.
Literally seen a Birdcage.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, no, he hasn't been in anything
in a very long time. His last movie was Welcome to Mooseport in 2004. I
didn't know he voiced General Mandible in Ants.
I can see that.
I had no idea.
He's a good acting voice, so I can totally see that.
So R.I.P. to Michelle Trachtenberg.
And Gene Hackman.
All
right, so that is it for our news. We're going to take a short break and get into our review for The Gorge. This week we watched The Gorge, which came out on Apple TV Plus February 14th. I went to the future. 2025. It is directed by Scott Derrickson. If that name sounds familiar, he also directed The Black Phone. Yes. And he'll also be directing Black Phone 2. And he also directed Doctor Strange 1, which was a really, really good movie. And Black Phone 2 is also really good, right?
Black Phone 2 hasn't come out, but Black Phone is really good.
Jesus, yes. I'm literally in the future right now. I don't know what's going on.
You would like Black Phone.
Okay. That's to be determined. It still sounds creepy.
The ghouls are friendly ghouls. They're helpful ghouls.
They're kids that are dead.
I mean, they're dead.
Oh, God. That's enough to creep me out.
They're there to help.
All right. Cast and characters of The Gorge are Miles Teller plays Levi Kane. Anya Taylor-Joy plays Drassa.
Drassa.
Okay. Yeah. We have Sigourney Weaver plays Bartholomew. I'm going to leave it there.
Is it?
There are like 2 other people in this. But you don't even know that. The runtime is 2 hours and 7 minutes. This did not go to theaters. Surprise, surprise. So
no, because Captain America was in theaters. That would have been foolish.
Well, yeah, because they came out the same day. Yeah. You're right. Budget, we don't know. Box office, don't have one. But this was, according to Apple TV, now they ain't released no numbers because you know how these streamers are. But Apple TV said this is their biggest film premiere ever, beating Wolves.
That makes sense.
So people watched it.
The trailer of this looked 10 times more interesting than the trailer for Wolves.
I didn't even see a trailer for this. I just saw people posting about it. And I mean, was like,
they didn't advertise it. No, I mean, you have to go. The trailer, you have to go and watch and find yourself. Look
right.
better than the one for Wolves.
Seek and find mission. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's doing numbers on Apple TV. So good for Scott and Miles and Anya.
I'm sure Severance is involved in that too somewhere.
People are probably watching Severance, getting the ad for this before the episode or something, or vice versa.
Yeah,
it's funny. Anywho, no cinema score because it didn't go to theaters. But the Rotten Tomato score for critics is a 64, and for the audience is a 77.
Not good.
That means more critics liked it than they didn't, and then that means I think the audience score is pretty good. All right, 70 ain't too bad. That's
well, you know what? I will get into that in our review, but fine, I'll concede that.
I think our reviews gonna be opposite sides of the fence for this movie.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Do you want to give us the plot of The Gorge?
Sure. So the plot of The Gorge is Anya Taylor-Joy's Drasa and Miles Teller's Levi are both agents of some type of government system.
Contract.
High set of skills. But they're sharpshooters.
Yes.
And they are both tasked to guard opposite ends of a gorge that has formed in the middle of the earth.
Yep.
And they are not protecting the gorge from outsiders. They are protecting things from coming out of the gorge.
Correct.
And hijinks ensue.
Lots of hijinks.
Yeah.
High hijinks at that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our non-spoiler thoughts. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I really like this movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed this movie more than because I didn't watch any trailers.
Okay.
And I just saw that it was like gaining traction on social media. So I was like, sure, let's watch it.
Okay.
It is described as a romance sci-fi thriller. I think it's like the official description of it. And it is truly a romance sci-fi thriller.
Fair.
I like the romance part of it probably more than the sci-fi thriller part.
Okay.
Which I found interesting. I thought all the acting was good. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I already got seen her in a bunch of stuff. But for this to be my first foray into Miles Teller, I thought he did pretty good.
Okay.
I think he's like what, they try to like push Glenn Powell all over everywhere and everything. I'm like, what about Miles? That was pretty good too. He would have been great in Twisters. I feel they could have switched that.
Okay.
But then I'm not going to go get on my Twisters bandwagon. But yeah, my basic non-spoiler review is I enjoyed this movie way more than I thought I would. And I had a good time. And I think I actually would watch something like this again. Surprisingly.
Okay.
I told you. Probably going to be on opposite sides. Go ahead with your non-spoiler thoughts.
So I don't think we're on opposite sides, but I was definitely more medium on this movie.
That's funny.
So I thought the effects were okay. They were in the Heart of Stone territory, which is a Netflix film, I know. But yeah. I mean, they're in streaming.
They're both streaming movies.
In the streaming realm of effects thing. But
I would agree.
I mean, I'm not going to add that as a detractor. I got the point they were trying to make with the effects in it.
Yes.
So quality of the film, it was fine. Cinematography looked a little Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like in some sections of it, but
sure,
that's okay. It's a streaming movie. I thought that Miles Teller was a little boring.
What?
To me. I loved
him in this.
I've seen Miles Teller and other stuff, and I like him as an actor. I think he can act, but the way he chose to portray this character was kind of dry. The line delivery was dry. He got more fun after he met Anya Taylor-Joy.
I think that was the point. He was like a lone sniper with nothing left for the world.
Okay, well, I didn't like his character until he met Anya Taylor-Joy. His character.
Like the first 40 minutes of the movie.
So I thought his character was a little dry.
Right.
But I like Miles Teller as an actor. I just think he made a weird choice. It was funny. I was watching this. So I was like, I feel like this character would be much better played by Adam Driver.
No.
I do. I feel like Adam Driver's character in 65 would have fit better in this environment.
I don't think the chemistry between Anya and Adam would have been there as much as it was.
No, they would have to change the actress, but that would have made his character better for me.
It's a different movie.
They would have made his character better for me.
Okay.
But Anya Taylor-Joy, I enjoyed her character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was good acting. I like Anya Taylor-Joy.
Some nitpicks for her character I'll get to.
She was a little flighty, but I enjoyed her in Furiosa. I think she did a really good job here. This is like a completely different type of character, but she was still like, I don't know. She does really good with action.
Oh, okay. I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
She's really good at action. Her action scenes were very believable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To that point, I thought the action sequences were good.
Yes.
I do think at a certain part of the film, they kind of just only relied on the action sequences.
That's all we was there for.
For a while, I was kind of just like, so it's
just fighting.
It's just only going to be. We're just
pew,
walking.
Pew, pew,
we're just
pew.
walking from action sequence to action sequence.
Yes, literally.
But that's fine. I felt the plot was a little thin. I was a little disappointed by the end.
I don't care about the plot.
for what the plot ended up being about,
it's basic.
I wish that the movie was shorter. Me personally,
okay,
it didn't need to be 2 hours and 7 minutes for it to be this.
Some of the pacing was a little slow in parts, and I was kind of like, let's just get to it. Yeah. So fair enough. Yeah. I get that. But as far as the plot of the movie, it's pretty thin. It does have a typical like, oh, of course, like this isn't original. This is what every agency does. Like, so yeah.
It and it's weird because the parts that were slow to me were the middle half of the movie when it's just them going from action sequence to action sequence. Only because I was wondering how long they were gonna do this.
I think I know exactly what part of the movie.
It was kind of just like they were moving from set to set and getting like exposition piece to exposition piece to exposition piece. And I was like, okay, so they're just gonna spend the rest of the time here trying to figure out being told what the rest of the movie is about. But,
okay, fair enough.
But I did enjoy the action scenes.
Okay,
they did do a lot of things in other movies that I like.
Mm-hmm.
That I think we'll get into. We both said we had a list of other films.
I have a couple films in my notes. I'm like, oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. And here we are.
Films and games. They did a lot of things from other stuff that I like. And they did it well. They didn't do it bad.
Okay.
So I appreciate that. If you're going to do it, if you're going to copy something, do it at least
right.
on par or better. So they did that.
Fair enough.
That's all I'll leave for my non-spoiler.
Okay. Everything else in my notes is literally random notes and spoilers about this movie. Okay. So that is it for our non-spoiler thoughts for The Gorge. If you don't want to be spoiled, I would say if you're going to watch this movie, don't watch any trailers.
Okay. I didn't watch any trailer.
Just go watch it.
That's rare for
because
me.
I feel like it gives to the what the heck factor if you don't watch any trailers. So after you go watch it without the trailer, come back and listen to the rest of our review because we're about to go in spoilers in 3 and 2 and 1. All right, so let's go through our characters. There's only 3 main characters. Okay. There's a couple other characters. We don't care about them. But the first one is Levi Kane, who's played by Miles Teller. Mm-hmm. Jay said he's dry as toast. I said I liked him.
That's funny. I was watching this like, we sure gonna have the same thoughts.
No, we're not.
Nope, we didn't at all.
I know. So Levi he used to be in the military as a sniper, but now he does like contract work. He's super good. Like he's super good at his job.
World record breaker.
Right. He's setting records and all that jazz, but he's a loner, right? And it seems like when we get introduced to him, like he's lived a hard life. He has like nightmares and whatnot. He don't care about taking a job because ain't nobody checking for him. Ain't nobody looking for him. So sure. He has to go, he meets Bartholomew, who's played by Sigourney Weaver. Mm-hmm. She has him go on his job for a year. It's like both characters have to go to the tower for a year. That's how long the tour or whatever is. But I liked his character. It's funny because even though this is an action sci-fi thriller, but it's also a romance. For some reason, the romance part really worked for me. And I was like, I wish all my romance movies was like tied into like an action thriller. I'll probably watch more of these.
They do a lot of romance action thrillers.
It's my favorite part.
Okay.
The way that he was like, he was dry at first, you said. But once he starts warming up to Iron Taylor-Joy's character, I was like, okay, some personality, some fun. This is a really good rom-com in a very depressing situation because they're on opposite sides of this gorge, but the gorge is like huge, y'all. Think of like Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Maybe not that big, but it's huge and they're not supposed to talk to each other. Mm-hmm. But during the course of the movie, they obviously do. So when that part of the movie starts, I really liked how he was trying to not really play hard to get. He didn't play hard to get for very long, for like 2 seconds. But once they start communicating with each other, I thought that's where he really like turned it up. I was like, I kind of like this Miles Teller guy. He was acting like, in a romantic sci-fi action movie.
Okay. I liked his character after he met Anya Taylor-Joy's character. Okay. And he started to warm up a little bit, but I still feel like his delivery was kind of dry. Like all of the way he delivered his lines was kind of just I think dry.
That was his like.
But maybe that was just supposed to be his character.
I think he was supposed to be like stoic and
vanilla.
I'm trying to pinpoint what it is that I liked about. Like I'm trying to compare.
Or maybe Drassa was so animated and lively that it kind of muted him a little bit.
I feel like in like normal circumstances, these two characters probably would not have.
No, he would find her annoying.
Right, and she would probably find him boring.
Yes.
But they was out there together, and they had nobody else to talk to.
It was a perfect situation.
It was, right. And remember, they're out there for a year, so months and months are going by, and they're like building this relationship because they don't have nobody else to talk to.
Right.
But I don't know. It was just, I was like, I feel like I need more action rom-coms like this because he was really selling it for me.
Okay.
That's why he should have been in Twisted.
We didn't go see Love Hurts.
What you mean? No.
Oh.
I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not. I at least got to buy that the two characters actually would be together.
So you like your action rom-com to be a little bit more, the stakes to be a little bit more serious? Because the stakes were serious in this one.
Yeah,
usually
maybe
in an action rom-com, it's calm. It's heavy on the calm. But you know what?
It's not even a calm,
this is
right?
Just an action.
Maybe that's
romance.
Maybe because it's not goofy comedy.
Yeah,
is why I liked it. It's literally more just straight romance, action, sci-fi. Like they have funny parts, but it's not like goofy comedy. It's just two
love
people.
Love in a dangerous space time.
Right, two people trying to get to know each other, so they trying to warm up to each other, crack jokes or whatever. So maybe because it wasn't comedy is why it's working for me.
Okay,
maybe, but I mean this movie is pretty straightforward, so ain't too much to leave out, but other than. He's a sniper. He meets Anya. I thought he played the character pretty well.
Yeah, there's not a lot of dialogue in this in the first half of the film.
So, no, maybe the first
because they don't communicate. So
right. You're right. So we don't get a lot of talking actually.
Yeah, after he talks to Sigourney Weaver and then talks to the guy that he replaces because they're doing rotations, relieving. We don't get a lot of dialogue between the two until they actually meet.
Right,
after
meet
the
for
first
real.
half of the film.
You're right. But I thought that you had to have male and female character, I guess.
I mean, you didn't, but that is one of my notes is that these must be the only two people they ever stationed together that wanted to sleep with each other.
You're right.
Because how did that not happen before?
Good point, because it does make a point of like, if are y'all the only two people that ever tried to talk to each other?
And they've supposedly, I'm going to assume they've been rotating since the World War.
Yes, like the 40s.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they've been rotating people, and we don't know when the year got established.
Yeah.
Like maybe they were like, okay, people gonna balk at 2 years, but people be all right with 1 year and 6 months too short. I don't know. But you do make a good point of like, this is the first time two people ever tried to like communicate.
It couldn't have been because, or maybe this is the first time two people tried to communicate and then tried to run away, because we see that when they do the relieves, they actually just kill you. So
right.
Yeah, because when Levi went to go relieve his replacement, they didn't take him home. They killed him.
They picked him up and he thought he was going home, and they literally cut his line, and then he fell into the forest.
In the forest, right. In uncharted territory.
Now, this might be the first time two people actually personally met, though. You don't think so?
No, it was, I mean, because they had the whiteboards and the binoculars. So clearly, I'm sure in the past they've communicated at least.
Okay.
So I'm sure they aren't the first people who've broken the rules, but maybe they're the first people that have gotten away. That's probably why they kill him.
I was just about to, because my thought was, why do you have to kill? Because they take Levi out, and we only see Levi's process to get to this place. Mm-hmm. They sedated him. He wakes up on the plane. He don't know where he at. He asks the pilot, and she's like, I'm not allowed to tell you that. He jumps out of the plane, and then he has to walk 12,000 country miles to even get to the place. So he has no idea where he is. And like, well, why do you need to kill him? They don't even know where to go back to.
And that was a little bit of my plot hole because they've clearly been doing this for a while.
Yes.
I don't believe Levi and Dross are the first people who've broken the rules if they've been doing this since the 1940s. Okay. But they treat it like they're the first people who've ever done it before. And that doesn't seem realistic to me. To the point where Sigourney Weaver was like, I want to go down there myself. And I was like, girl, this couldn't be the first person since the 1940s. It can't be the first person under your reign.
They got me. I was like, oh my God, this is the first time they ever tried to
Listen, got you? Really?
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more of maybe this might not be the first time that people actually, no, I didn't even think about that.
You were just consumed by this. You were having a really great time.
I'm really into the story. I was like, this is so cute. I really like this.
That's hilarious.
All right, so you got anything else about Levi?
No, I'm ready for Drassa.
Okay, so Drassa, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. She was cool. I mean,
I liked her.
Anya Taylor-Joy does do action very well. Mm-hmm. So I think both of them were believable as snipers.
Yes.
So I'll give them that. They both played that like, I'm very good at my job. I could kill you from 12,000 feet away situation. Her character, I mean, pretty straightforward. Her character, we get a little more family backstory. So she has a dad that we see briefly. Her dad has cancer, and he actually tells her like, I'm actually going to end it for myself on this particular day.
Who was also an assassin,
right? KGB or something like that. So there's a moment in the movie where that day actually comes. And she tells him, like, light a candle for me because on this day I'm done.
Right.
And she's gonna be gone for a year, right? So she's not gonna be around.
Right.
So all the acting from her was good. She is the more animated of the couple for sure. Yeah. She actually immediately gets there, and one of my notes says, so she's just gonna start breaking the rules immediately.
And I was like, because she's not an agent, she's just like a spy assassin.
And she has not been in the military. Versus Levi came from the military, so he's very much like.
So she was very much playing loud music, carefree attitude, drinking every night.
Yeah, you're right.
She was having a good time.
And Levi was like writing poems in the dark.
Right, he was very by the book soldier.
Yeah, you're right. So in real life that wouldn't have worked.
No,
but they got me convinced in this though. But she was good. I liked her in this.
Yeah, I liked her character in this. She reminded me more of like Magic and New Mutants, personality wise, than Furiosa.
Sure.
Yeah, Furiosa didn't have much happiness.
No.
So.
No.
I liked the relationship with her and her dad. I thought it was sad and tragic that he was going to die.
Yeah.
I did love the shame pouch of bullets.
That was interesting. I didn't think that would work, but I was like, if mind over matter.
It's something that she does with her dad.
You're right.
She says she tells her dad the bad things and he makes the bad things go away.
Right. And Levi was like, nah, just pack it in.
Yeah. It made sense to me when I put it in the lens of you're both killers, so this is how you bond. This is how a family of killers bond.
Trauma bonds.
Over bullets.
For sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I did believe in once they finally got together.
Yeah.
Their chemistry made more sense.
Okay.
Even though he was kind of dry. But I mean, that's some relationships. Some relationships, one of them is dry sometimes.
Okay. And it works. Right. I would say there's certain parts of the movie though where she made some silly decisions that I didn't like.
Like what?
Her dropping whatever thing that she dropped in the water, that wasn't her fault. But then she had a moment where she like left behind her backpack.
Yeah, she left it. Well, yeah.
And I was like, girl, now you trained. Why are we leaving things behind that you know you're gonna need?
That wouldn't make sense if you're in an environment where it's just animals, but these mutants were organized.
Okay, fine.
So
sure.
I thought that was dumb when she left her bag behind because I'm like, these aren't like zombies. It would be weird if a mindless zombie stole your backpack. It's like, what are you going to do with that?
Right.
But these were like horse riding mutants.
Yeah.
Like,
so
they had a plan.
Major plot point here is that the things that no, you're fine. The things that, because you make a good point.
And they introduced it at the beginning.
Right.
As soon as he gets there.
We don't see it, we hear it. So the thing that they are protecting, they don't tell everybody who comes. They're just like, you got to protect whatever's from coming out. And what we find out maybe midway through the movie is that they're protecting like tree people from coming. Murderous tree people.
My first clue that it was going to be, I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't read the synopsis, so I didn't know. Oh, I read the synopsis about them protecting the gorge.
Yes, I read that.
But I didn't know it was going to get freaky. So my first sign when I knew it was going to get freaky was when the replacement said that they call them Hollow Men. And I was like, that's not a name that you give to something like of this world.
Yeah.
They're crawling out of a pit.
I wasn't ready.
so when he said Hollow Man, I was thinking like freaky slender people or something. Or I was thinking like the forest guys and what's that M. Night Shyamalan movie we just saw of Dakota Fanning in the forest?
Oh, the Watchers.
I was thinking of them.
I mean, it's kind of like humanoid versions of the Watchers.
I was thinking of something creepy and supernatural.
Okay,
legs.
Right. So we see basically what's in the gorge are mutated humans that have like...
Because they sent 2,400 men down into the gorge in the past to go investigate the gorge. And they never came back. Over time, they mutated but didn't die. So they were
some freak accident that happened down there that the humans, of course, were responsible for.
So they weren't zombies because they had minds.
And they were coordinated because they were in the military.
Right. So they were like mutants.
They were like hybrid. They were like Earth human hybrids.
Bandits. Mutant bandit people.
Pirates.
Because they didn't eat you. But they
we don't know that. We didn't see them eat nobody.
They did attack you.
I guess maybe they didn't have appetites. We don't know.
We don't know how they lived.
We don't know how they lived. They've been down there since the 40s.
Yeah.
And now it's like 2025. So what they are protecting from supposed to be coming out are these mutated humans, but you don't know that until they start crawling up the sides of the walls.
And they don't know that either.
And the people who protect the place don't know that either. I mean, we're supposed to assume, And I guess this goes back into me not thinking about the people before them. This can't be the first time them people done tried to crawl up out of there.
Yeah, no.
Because they crawl out pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, and this might be a plot hole. Drassa is the one who she starts playing the loud music. And I'm like, did she trigger them? Did she wake them up?
No, I think they come up anyway.
Okay. Yeah, they don't really need, I guess, any motivation to come up there. Every now and then they just be like, all right, there's a new guy. Let's go test him out. And they just be crawling up the walls.
And it may not be just them.
Okay.
Because there's all types of things down there.
It is all types of things.
Yeah.
They look all creepy.
Yeah.
So I thought that she set them off, but you make a good point. They kind of just came up whenever they felt like it, which is even more terrifying, actually, to be honest.
Bartholomew, played by legend Sigourney Weaver.
With a bad wig. That wig was bad.
It wasn't.
It was wiggy. I was like, y'all can't get her a good lace front.
It wasn't.
So she's your typical villain. She works for a private firm agency that's basically trying to keep the gorge and what's in the gorge hidden.
I don't appreciate the Wayland Utanification of Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
I don't like her being the bad guy.
This is where I was like, the plot really turned into like, okay, typical government organization doing bad things to humans. Now they want to hide it and use it for their benefit.
They did the same thing with Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
The bad guy was Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
she was the one who orchestrated, and she was the head of everything.
And wasn't that like a crazy, creepy organization behind
that
the
was
scenes?
where they deliberately organized like early summer camp slasher flicks. They deliberately organized those situations to appease these gods from rising up from the depths of hell and consuming the earth. Okay,
that is creepier. Well, she's another mastermind in this, and it's a very typical plot line of like government organization, or no, not government, private organization. Somehow they funded by who know why, dark magic, whatever. They did an experiment failed, but they are now trying to use the mutated people as government weapons. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever.
And that's the same thing they did in Alien, where it's like, we're trying to use the xenomorphs to be the most effective killers on the battleground. I was kind of
like, typical, let's torture humans for government profit or money benefit. I was like, oh, I don't like this.
So they're gonna use Transformers in the military. They're gonna use Velociraptors in the military.
Mutated tree people,
xenomorphs and mutated tree people.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Scott, this plot. Let's go back to the romance.
These are not effective tools for the military.
Yeah, they didn't make no sense, and they were not like, they were easy to kill. So Levi and Drassa are killing these things with just your basic old artillery. Like they don't take.
They're not invincible.
Yes, they still got the human part. So
you flesh.
Cat one in the shoulder and it's done for. So her character was, she
didn't have very much screen time.
She did.
She was just in the beginning to recruit Miles Teller, and then they do a reveal as soon as Miles Teller is dropped off that she is the mastermind behind the gorge, or at least the operation, because they immediately kill the guy he relieved. And call her and tell her. And
she go full villain at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like they did the villain change in the Meg.
Yeah.
The Meg 2 with the chick who was like the billionaire CEO did the flip halfway through the film.
Okay. Yeah. So that's our characters. That's pretty much who we're with, most of them. We're actually mostly with Levi and Drassa. We see Bartholomew like for 5 minutes. But let's get into our likes and dislikes.
Sure. So I thought the visual effects were spotty, but they were really good in some places. Specifically the Davy Jones locker moments. So this movie reminded me a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean in regards to the monsters. They look like the crewmates on Davy Jones' ship.
What's his name's dad? Will's dad's people. They look like that.
They looked exactly like that. But they also reminded me of the Hollow Man. I said the Hollow Man looked like the creatures in the Mako reactor in Maybelline.
Okay.
In Final Fantasy, when Tifa took them up the mountain, and one of them clambered out of one of them.
Okay, fair enough. So you had a video game and a movie.
I did.
I had 3 movies.
Okay, what was yours?
So I was like, this is turning into Scavenger's Reign.
Oh.
Because there's a scene so what happens is Levi actually swings over to see Drassa, and they spend some time together, and I really like that scene. I thought that was all cute. But then when he goes back to his tower, because he got to do his check-in, the things start crawling up, and his rope gets cut because one of the automatic shotguns like shoots his rope or whatever. He falls down there. She goes down there to go get him, but when he first falls, he falls into some like tree sap that starts to eat him or something. And I was like,
consume them.
We turned it into scavenger's reign.
I was thinking more along the lines of Annihilation too.
Okay.
In regards to the reveal of what was happening in the gorge.
Yes. Because the people are getting mutated.
Yeah. Because Annihilation, in Annihilation, you weren't like becoming part of the forest, but the forest was kind of like trying to eat you.
It was like both.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
the forest was like a living thing.
Yeah.
And this one, it was kind of like everything was just melding together.
Because of because of whatever bomb or whatever went off. It was like mutating. If you stay down there long enough, you get mutated as well. I
think it was like within 5 minutes.
No, they said several days you were definitely infected. And then if you were only down there for a few hours, then you were supposedly okay.
Yeah, 5 days. I'm sorry. I think it was 5 days.
You had to be quarantined to know if you got mutated or if you got infected or not.
So you would be able to tell in 5 days if you had gotten infected with it.
Right. So Scavenger Reigns was 1. Dead Man's Chest was 2, and then the part where they turn the corner and go down the purple little area, Witch's Road. was like, we're going down the Witch's Road. Okay, we're about to hear some more trials and tribulations, and that's exactly what we got. So yeah, those were my 3.
I can see the Scavenger's Reign comparison when they're going through the missile silo with the gooey.
Oh yeah,
the gooey orange guys.
It was almost kind of like
breathing.
Yeah, so some humans have mutated into goo.
Yeah,
on the bridge that they need to take to get out of whatever.
And they're like sleep or something.
Or they just breathing a living. It looked real.
They're not dead, but they've definitely are mutated into like just goo.
They're part of the building at this point.
Yeah, they're part of the structure of
they look like webs of like neurons firing in your brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they like human goo.
Yeah.
So imagine that.
And gross.
It is more gross than the tree people for sure.
That reminded me of the episode of Scavenger's Reign when they were walking through the forest.
Yeah.
That would prick you and then birth a clone of you, and the clone would come blow up on you.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was gross.
That's Scavenger's Reign.
That's one thing I don't need to see in live action.
It was pretty close. It was
gross.
It was pretty close. I also thought that the tree people was gonna talk, but they don't. Because I thought that one guy that called Anya Taylor-Joy was gonna start speaking. I was like, oh my God, is he about to say something? I think they lost their will to speak. So, but I like even though it reminded me of other movies, I did like those little, I mean, I'm sure he didn't they're not callbacks because I don't know if he watched these shows, but those little nuggets of like that sci-fi part. The sci-fi parts of this movie were done really well. Yeah. I'll put it that way.
Another what I think we mentioned earlier were the action sequences. I like the action sequences. My only dislike is that I feel like for the middle chunk of the movie, we just only had action sequences.
After they fall down there.
Yeah, which was a little difficult following a first half of the movie where we had no action sequences, but barely any dialogue.
So it's like romance for 45 minutes, and then it's action sequences straight for like 20, 25 minutes, and then it's like dialogue and action sequences. Yeah. They trying to escape, basically.
It wraps it up very quickly at the end, I think.
It does, which I appreciate it. Because I was
after being there for so long, yes.
The movie is 2 hours and 7 minutes, and if it would have been any longer, I would have been like, okay, I'm about to fast forward through some of this fighting because I want to know how they get out of here and how this ends. So yeah. Pacing was a little touch and go. It could have been a little tighter. Yeah. I feel like. So I guess that qualifies as a slight dislike.
And my only other dislike was the plot having to do with
typical
the military.
It's
just so typical.
As soon as they said that, I was like, I literally let out a because I was like, this is not so original.
Who are even at war with?
It wasn't even
in this movie,
and it wasn't even it was too unoriginal. Typical government, military, or typical not even government, military. She was a private organization, but typical money hungry organization trying to build a robust military, and it's kind of like, for what?
For what?
Why? Y'all clearly have enough money to make drones that fly down in this thing and not get caught up. Just make drones.
Cloaking satellite technology.
Right. So so that nobody could see what the gorge was.
Nobody wants to talk about that?
Yeah. I thought that was interesting too. So that is it for my likes and dislikes. Let's talk about the ending.
So like Cheryl said, come to reveal they were doing some special experimentation. It fell into the gorge, and that is what caused this problem. Sigourney Weaver is trying to extract super soldier goo out of it. So the cat's out the bag. They have all type of surveillance in that gorge, so they knew that they fell down in there. They broke the rules.
They tried to lie and say they didn't. Sigourney Weaver's like, I caught you on tape.
Sigourney Weaver's like, our alarms went off. She calls Miles Teller and she's like, hey, what happened? He's like, nothing happened. I didn't go down there. And she's like, well, if you didn't go down there, I assume she did. So go kill her.
Right.
And she knows that.
That ain't going to happen because they in love now.
So they're on their way to kill both of them.
Yes.
Because they were going to do that anyway. I also felt that strange when they both talk about running away. And they're like, well, Miles Teller is like, well, Levi's like, well, they basically deduced that they're going to be killed at the end of their job because they were both like, the interview questions. The interview questions were all basically things you would ask somebody if you're going to kill them at the end of the job. Right. So, which I don't know why you still took the job if you knew that from the interview.
I don't know if you knew that from the interview. That it was just a moment of revelation. Like, that's why they asked me, did I have anybody to care for? They were like,
I start sussing when people start asking me questions. So it wouldn't have taken me that long. Like,
he did say he had no real reason.
They got all the way through the gorge and didn't realize that she was going to put a cap in your head.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Fair enough.
Sigourney Weaver's on the way to kill both of them.
Yep.
They know it. So they're like, we're going to run. They did the quarantine. They're not infected.
Well, they hadn't completed it yet. They was only maybe like a day or two in.
Yeah. So they were on the middle of their quarantine, but they are on the run. They decide to leave anyway. Sigourney Weaver's on the way, so she intercepts them on the way while they're on the way out.
Yep.
And we basically get not heavy action, just scenes of them running through the forest away from a helicopter.
Them trying to escape. Right, and they have a plan to basically expose the gorge by getting rid of the interceptor. What do they call them? Cloaking. The cloaking satellites. So as they're running away, they shoot down the cloaking satellites to expose the gorge.
So there's a failsafe.
And there's also a failsafe.
If the gorge is exposed because the cloaking satellites have failed, it is going to drop a nuke in the bottom of the gorge and just blow the whole place up and erase evidence of it.
And nobody's going to wonder what happened there.
Yeah, it's just going to drop a warhead down there.
So they activate that part, and that's how Sigourney Weaver eats it.
Because they decide that instead of just running and living their lives, they can't just leave this gorge undefended.
Fair enough.
They also can't let Sigourney Weaver keep doing what she does to the agents that
also
come out
jacked
there.
up.
So I was like, when did y'all become good guys? But it's fine.
We don't know if they were killing bad people or good people. I took it that they were killing bad people.
You know, Ian Taylor-Joy's kill in the beginning was a warlord of some sort, even though he had kids.
We can assume that so did Levi.
Because everybody works for the government.
Exactly.
Good, bad people.
Well,
so
I didn't say that.
Maybe that's what's keeping him awake at night. Killing the bad guys.
He did say his first kill still keep him awake. I'm like, God, Lord, that was like 25 kills ago. Jesus. Get over it.
So they drop the warhead. They somehow get enough distance away from the explosion, but Sigourney Weaver on a helicopter does not.
They timed it. They was doing the little clicks on their watch when they was running. They was looking to be. They are professionals.
They are protected by plot.
They know how far to run to survive a nuke, which should be nowhere. But we're not gonna talk about that. They both made it. Well, Levi actually ends up getting hurt and falls into like a river or something. Anya Taylor-Joy runs far enough to where she can just walk away from it. Yes. So the plot. The way the movie tries to take us is that he died in the water.
They try to do the extraction thing.
Yeah, he died in the water. She goes up to the meetup spot where they're supposed to go. She opens up the letter that he gave her, and it's like the poem that he wrote, which I actually thought that was kind of cute. And then she's like, "Oh no, he's dead. He's not coming." And then we jump forward, like I don't know, a couple months or whatever. She working as a waitress at a hotel. Now that I didn't believe. Or a restaurant. She's a waitress now at a restaurant. And I'm like, girl, you go from sniping to being a waitress at a restaurant.
Maybe she really wanted a change of pace. A complete change of pace.
Maybe this is her part-time job. Either way.
I don't see Natasha being a waitress.
Not at all. I was like, they should have just had her like chilling on the beach. But either way, she turns around from serving her customers and Levi's there like, hey girl, I actually live. And then they live happily ever after.
Yeah, and I'm not a mutant.
And
I like the ending. I like that they got a happy ending. After going through all of that, it had to be for something.
Yeah, I would have been mad. I thought they were going to take it there and actually leave him dead, and I think I would have been pissed.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to show up because he mutated and he didn't make it.
Yeah, or right. So I was like, oh, man, I'm actually going to have to take a Nicole Kidman off of this. But no, I like the ending. They lived happily ever after. The gorge is destroyed, and nobody asked no questions.
Okay.
The end.
Did you have a favorite line or scene?
My favorite scene would have to be the montage. No, I would say when they first started talking to each other. So they're so far apart that they can't like yell across the gorge. They have to write notes on like their messages or on their paper or whatever, and then look through the binoculars and talk back and forth. I like that part. It was like, oh, y'all, that's creative. I like that.
Yeah. I didn't have a favorite line or scene, but I did think the mutants on the horse was interesting. That was an interesting concept.
I thought that was the goofiest thing of this movie.
And it was goofy. It definitely made me laugh. But I was like, oh, this is a different way to take mutants. Like, yeah, I was organized, collaborating, horse riding mutants.
I was confused why they was on a horse. Like, this horse survived this.
The horse is still cooperating.
I can see how the humans kind of like lived. I can suspend my belief to think that humans have lived this long, but a horse, come on now.
Hey,
a mutated horse.
Well, I mean, everything must have lived that long because it's all a mutant combination of everything else that's down there, which is gross. I guess. I'll add that I thought the Jeep crawling up the side of the gorge action sequence was unique.
I wasn't expecting
that anything else.
When he said that the Jeep's whatever was strong, I was like, I don't know.
The towing cable?
Yeah. They literally towed the Jeep all the way up.
And they drive it up the mountain. I thought that was interesting.
I wasn't expecting it. I thought they was going, when they got to the wall with the Jeep, I was like, now are they just going to crawl out of here? But no, the Jeep starts going up the side of the wall.
And I'm glad that they did that instead of trying to make us think that they crawled over there. They crawled out of there.
It would have took too long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because these mutated humans are quick.
Yeah, they're fat and they're clawed. So they'll rip you up.
They like you know what they look like? The mummies from the Mummy. A little bit.
Maybe they'll look like the newer mummies.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. But yeah, that was a cool scene. I did like that scene. It didn't drag too long. I was like, now how long are we gonna be going up this wall now? So that scene was cool. That scene was cool.
Do you have any random notes?
Let's see. Let me look at my random notes.
I have one. I don't know why I assumed this movie would take place in the future, but it's present day. So
it's definitely today.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, I thought it was weird that they have an encounter with the mutated humans after they do their first like back and forth of talking to each other, getting to know each other, sending each other signs and shooting each other's bottles of wine or whatever off their heads. Okay. And then the next day they just kind of go back to normal. And then they have their date and nobody brings up the fact that, hey, we got attacked by some mutants. And then it don't happen. They literally don't say anything again until his cord get cut and he fall down there.
Yeah.
And I was like,
they don't acknowledge the fact that they have encountered mutants.
That literally something you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought
they don't talk about it to each other, which is weird. They mostly just talk about each other.
Yeah. I mean, I also like that too. So I was kind of like, that was one thing that stuck. I was like, y'all not gonna have a conversation about what y'all just went through? No. Okay,
no, we're just gonna gloss over that.
That's right. That's weird. Like there should have been. She should have wrote a sign to him that says, "What the heck was that?"
I'm leaving.
Or I'm leaving, but she didn't know where she was.
Got out of there.
So there was probably, I don't know how you do that. And then I think that was pretty much it. I think I got through all of this. I will say that I thought this was about to turn into a horror movie, and I was about to turn it off.
Oh god!
So when we first see the creepy crawlies, they kind of cloaked in darkness, and they kind of doing like the twitchy zombie move. And I was about to text you like, I can't do it.
They weren't twitching.
They weren't twitching. But creepy. One of my notes says, "Oh, this is some creepy crawly crap."
Yeah, after my mind made the Davy Jones comparison, I was like, "Oh no, they're not scary anymore."
They're not scary.
I mean, because the one dude, when we finally got a good up close shot of him, one dude had like an octopus tentacle coming out of his mouth. I'm like, "This is Davy Jones."
Yeah, it's once you get them in like daylight, or I wouldn't even call it daylight.
Too much light on their face.
It looks real like, okay, you look a little.
Like
creepy.
They weren't even as scary as like the Maze Runner zombies were freakier than these guys.
No, they're not. I wouldn't even call them zombies. They just mutated tree people. It looks gross, but it's not like nightmarish.
And some of them are more mutated than the others. Some of them look like Groot, and some of them look like Davy Jones. So
agree.
Did you have? My other random note was I thought the East and West Tower looked like Avengers Tower.
They do.
Yeah.
Agree. Definitely.
All right, it is time for our rating. You go first.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it. I really like this movie. I just had fun with it, and the romance was just enough, and the goofy sci-fi-ness was just enough. The government plot thing, automatic 1 star off because that is just a typical Tide line. But I like the fact that they didn't try to do nothing fancy and change the ending and make it all like, oh, he actually died. No. They gave me my happy ending in my romantic movie, and I thank them for that.
Okay.
4 stars for me.
Okay. I'll join you.
Okay.
I'll give them a 4.
Turn them around, y'all. What was you going to give it first?
I was going to give it a 3.5.
Okay,
but I don't think this movie did anything bad. Was it slow at some parts? Yes. But it's a little weird to be like, it was slow during the action sequences. I enjoyed the action sequence. It was weird. It was just so many action sequences back to back to back to back to back.
Your eyes was like, I need a rest.
Yeah. I was like, I need plot.
Where's the romance?
I need give me some type of something. So I thought that it was a little weirdly paced in the middle.
Okay.
Not badly paced.
Okay.
I won't say completely slow because they weren't just walking around. They were actively fighting monsters. They I thought the fight choreo was decent.
She get dragged. She get like caught on a rope and dragged.
Yeah, and I'm like, these guys are coordinated. The horse riding one set up a trap.
Listen, the horseman, okay? The horseman was ready to kill somebody.
One kidnapped her. Yeah, set up a trap, kidnapped her, took her deeper into the gorge, strung her up, was torturing her. I'm like, y'all are coordinated.
And it made me wonder, like, how many they didn't drag down here? Because y'all obviously have some practice.
I guess it doesn't matter. So if a soldier falls in the gorge, it's considered a loss because they kill him anyway, even if they finish their rotation.
Oh, yeah, they probably don't care. So, I wonder if they send somebody new out there. Be like,
yeah, you know what? They probably will send relief.
We need you sooner than we thought something happened. Mm-hmm. Be like, what? Don't worry about it.
Whoever works the opposite tower, be like, so-and-so fell in.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to send the replacement.
The binoculars let you see across, so you can always check on that. No blinds.
And I think they can only call Sigourney Weaver.
Well, they only get called. They don't even call out. Well, I guess they had a panic button or something.
He called out at the end, I think, unless she was calling him.
Okay,
when he checked in or something.
Yeah.
But the only person they can talk to is whoever works at the company. So.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They don't have no TV, no phones. I was surprised that Jurassic even had like records. Yeah. I was like, did they let you bring these?
But I'll give it a 4. It's a middling action movie. It's B grade. B grade has a place.
It does.
I feel like 65 deserved this runtime, and this deserves 65's runtime.
Okay.
This could have been shorter.
Fair. Because of the beginning, right?
For what the plot ended up being at the end, I feel like they could have got this told in an hour and 20 minutes.
They could have started where they were already at the tower.
But it would have they could have. Because I don't want to have them cut the moments between the two of them, because I think it's important for the romantic aspect of the film. Right. So yeah, cut all the lead up.
They could have just dropped them off at the tower and kept it going.
Because honestly, in the rest of the film, who cares? Her dad's dead, so the whole scene of her meeting her dad, I mean, she could have just told us a story about her dad dying.
Right, and he had no backstory.
We could have started with him waking up on the plane with the IV.
Correct.
Boom.
You're right.
Yeah.
They could have cut the first 30 minutes of the movie out, and it still would have been the same movie.
It's a little editing.
Yeah. Okay, so those are our ratings for The Gorge. I say if we both 4s, that means you should check it out. Once again, if you haven't seen it, if you've been spoiled, you should still watch it anyway, because I think the romance was actually kind of fun, and the action scenes would definitely have your eyeballs like, I need a break, I need a break, I need a break. But it's a good, like, something to turn on, have a good time. Get your popcorn, get your snacks. It's not super scary. I mean, no. they do look deformed, but it's not like, it's PG-13.
Yeah.
So they can only take it so far.
I feel like the reveal is like what it is. It's the reveal of the monsters for the first time, and if that's scary to you. But if it's not, it doesn't get any scarier than that. It's just
agree. I think it gets less scary.
And there's no jump scares.
No.
I
would agree. I would agree. So yeah, check out The Gorge. Let us know what you think. It is currently available right now on Apple TV Plus, and they're not gonna advertise it probably past this week.
So we've probably done the most advertising for it that it's had.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Where's my free iPhone?
All right. So that is our review of the week. What are you watching next week?
It is Mickey 17 time.
Yay!
It's got pushed back, then it got pushed forward.
Yep.
So we'll see if people remember that it's coming out, because I don't feel like I've seen. Well, that's not true. They've definitely been putting a trailer in front of movies, but I don't know if I've seen any like ads on TV for it, or at least I should say ads on YouTube, because that's mostly what I watch. And Twitter, I ain't seen no Twitter ads.
Early impressions of it are pretty good.
Yes,
agreed. I'm excited about it. People who've read the book said that the book is good. Okay. They've expanded on the book and added some more deaths in here as well.
Quite a few more.
I'm interested. It looks wacky.
It looks wacky, funny, kooky, serious. It's sci-fi, futuristic, I think. Yeah. So yeah, it should be a good time.
And we only talk about Robert Pattinson, but I enjoy Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette and stuff too. So
and Naomi Ackie.
So yeah, it's a good cast.
We like the whole cast.
Yeah.
So it should be a good fun time.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it.
We might have to start putting like, who's doing that?
You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts or on our website at vaguelynerdypodcast.com. Mm-hmm. You can leave us a voice message as well, and we'll play it on the show if it's nice. If it's not nice, you're going to hear from Cheryl about it.
I'm going to put you on Threads where I get to hit tweets at.
You can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, Blue Sky and Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod, and you can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast.com. If you're listening to us on a podcast app, you can also watch our animated format of our podcast on YouTube at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.